Good morning, everyone. My name is Alberta Paglione and I'm pleased to share a case study conducted with the Istituto Centrale per il Restauro. The project involved the conservation of the environmental installation Spiette 36, created by the Italian artist Paolo Icaro and acquired by the Maxi Museum in Rome. We focused on the artist's role in exhibiting and conserving the artwork, the challenges of preserving an installation that interacts with the public, and the importance of a preservation plan for environmental artworks. The installation consists of 36 gypsum elements, each containing a mirror fragment set at a particular angle, and these elements are positioned on all surfaces of the space through a mechanism of reflection between the mirrors, which was entirely designed by the artist using a laser light. This creates an invisible network of reflection in the space which interacts with the museum visitors as they move within the installation. The video that you are currently watching was produced to better document the artwork, as traditional methods were insufficient for capturing its environmental and spatial dynamics. One of the most fascinating aspects of working with contemporary art is that the artist is often still alive. So I had the opportunity to visit Paolo Icaro in his studio near Pesaro in central Italy and closely experience his work. He explained the conceptual ideas behind his environmental artwork and showed us the entire creation process that you can see in this video, and gave us detailed guidelines for setting up the work. This allowed us to understand the material and its conservation issues related to the significance of the artwork. The artist's intent is to create an installation that changes with each space according to its features, while maintaining the reflection mechanism between mirrors and covering every surface in the room, including the floor. Furthermore, it is crucial that the installation remains fully accessible to visitors without limitation, and consequently our most complex challenge is to ensure the conservation of the artwork when it is exposed to the public. The goals are both the preservation of the original material and the maintenance of the artist's intended experience. When the artwork was exposed to the interaction with the museum visitors, 5 elements placed on the floor suffered several accidental impacts, resulting in cracks, abrasions, and loss of fragments. These elements, after several on-site interventions, were moved to the laboratory for the restoration. The comprehensive understanding of the material and techniques acquired through dialogue with the artist guided the choices of the entire restoration intervention, which was based on minimizing the use of water in all its phases. The direct observation of the artist at work highlighted the fragility of the material, primarily due to the execution technique, as Icaro mixes plaster with a large amount of water, resulting in a highly porous product. Additionally, we conducted interviews with museum visitors to assess their experiences within the artwork space. We asked about their perception of Spiette 36 in the context of the Senza Margine exhibition, their interaction with the installation, and their awareness of elements on the ground. We also interviewed the staff responsible for monitoring the installation to analyze visitor behavior and understand the challenges of preserving the elements on the floor. These interviews revealed interesting data about the public's interaction with the environmental artworks. In our case, it is especially interesting to observe the disorientation experienced when entering in the artwork space and trying to focus on its elements to understand its meaning. This highly active participation and the physical closeness to the elements, which is not present in traditional sculpture and painting, results in a greater risk of damage to environmental artworks. In the case of Icaro, the museum staff mentioned the constant need to remind visitors to pay attention to the elements on the floor, as most of the time they look upwards to understand the functioning of the artwork or to see the reflection in the mirror fragments. This analysis led us to develop long-term conservation strategies, which includes creating of digital models of all 36 elements to build a digital data collection that preserves the elements of the artwork, producing exhibition copies to facilitate sustainable preservation while maintaining public engagement with the artwork. The decision to create exhibition copies came from the dialogue with the artist and the museum, which led us to produce the first three pieces. The exhibition copies are essential tools for safeguarding those elements of the installation that comes into contact with the public, in this case the ones set up on the floor. And then collecting comprehensive data on all aspects of the artwork, including interviews with the artist and the public, as well as video documentation, which allows for a full understanding of the artwork, from its conceptual meaning to the technical setup and the direct experience lived by museum visitors inside the installation. And finally, conducting regular on-site intervention to address any damage to elements and prevent the dispersion of fragments. These interventions are already carried out by the museum during the month of exhibition, along with doubling the staff responsible for monitoring the room. In conclusion, our study highlights the importance of integrating the artist's perspective into conservation practices, especially for contemporary installation that interacts dynamically with their environment and the public. The opportunity to engage in dialogue with the artist allows us to acquire unique information about the artwork. Regarding the constituent materials, Icaro gave us the name of his plaster supplier and showed us the characteristics of the industrial mirrors that he used. However, beyond understanding the materials and the execution technique, when working on contemporary artwork with a strong conceptual component, it is crucial to deeply understand the meaning the artist intended to convey, and the specific features that must remain unchanged and be preserved just as much as the physical materials themselves. We also want to emphasize the need to understand visitor behavior in the context of the environmental artwork and how it can be improved to enhance the long-term preservation of the artwork. The continuous dialogue with the museum has also allowed us to engage with its perspective on topics such as the relationship between curators and artists during the acquisition and exhibition of the artwork, and the management of conservation through on-site interventions, and also the consideration of adopting tools like the exhibition copy to ensure its preservation over time. These insights enable us to collect data and to create a sustainable conservation plan that balances the preservation of the original work with its continued public engagement. We hope our findings will contribute to the broader discussion on conserving contemporary installation and promote continued collaboration among artists, conservators, and museum professionals. Thank you so much for your attention, and I look forward to any question you may have.